How about now? There we go. Got it. Okay, it looks like... Okay, we're good now. Root of all years, once again. Our quality control behind the scenes. Thank you. So anyway, as I was saying, just doing some miniature painting today. If you have a mini, just go ahead and grab it, paint it with me. I don't have a whole lot of time right now, but I wanted to do some streaming. I have a lot on my plate this afternoon. One of the things that makes miniature painting just easier, because the difficult thing about it, and I say difficult with a caveat, it's not hard to paint a mini. If you want to do like really high quality job, it'll take you time. You can learn to do it, but just getting a tabletop ready mini is not that difficult to get some paint on there. What makes it hard is actually working up the nerve, working up to just grab that mini and sitting down and breaking through that wall and just starting to paint. For me, it's difficult to paint alone. Like I'm here, I don't have any of my buddies with me, but I find it easier maybe if I'm streaming with you guys, or maybe if you have a miniature, you're watching the stream and you're looking on your shelf and you're seeing a miniature that's primed, grab it. Let's paint together. Because for me, that makes it easier. So, what I hope to accomplish in this stream is one, just a little bit of chatting. Two, paint some minis. Like this Mimic that was 3D printed for me. Started it, never finished it. I'm going to try to finish that today. But I also have these 3 Rust Monsters that I started and never finished. Root of all beers, you would probably remember these. So I'd like to finish these 4 things today. On top of that, I want to look at DnD Beyond's new initiative tracker. So those who might not know DnD Beyond, they basically are a Dungeons & Dragons online utility. They're a database. As you buy their books, they become this very seamlessly stitched together database that you could use their hot links, character builder. It just makes everything easier. From a DM's perspective, it makes running games... It cuts down on my prep time a lot. For example, if I'm running a pre-written module, let's say I'm running Storm King's Thunder, it'll start talking about a dialogue. Here's some giants, hill giants, but the word hill giant will be a tooltip. Like I hover my mouse over that tooltip, I get some really quick, fast information about hill giants. I could also click on it and get more detailed information. Maybe that hill giant can cast spells. Now that hill giant will have a spell list right next to it. It makes pulling up all the D&D Beyond information fast. And so whenever I have to research anything, it just makes everything go very quickly on the fly. Also makes character creation a snap. I do like D&D Beyond a lot. I'm very heavily invested in their ecosystem. And this new initiative tracker, I'm really kind of excited about to see what it becomes when it becomes a final product. So, I did want to look at that today. So I set up a little display to see if we could go ahead and do that. See if I can make it work. I kind of wanted to start with that, to just look at it real quick. Look at it with you guys. Let's see here. And the magic of my very quick slapdash OBS editing. Here we go. So this is my D&D Beyond account. I created a bunch of encounters. Now here's the thing about the initiative tracker. You have to have an encounter built. And I want to make sure I can still see the chat, so let me do something here. Pull up my little dashboard here on my phone, so if someone sends chat, I can still see it. All right. So, now I can see chat. So with the encounter builder, when you go over to creations, go over to my encounters, you see it still says it's in beta over here. You click on that, and that brings you to this screen right here. When you're on this screen, you could click right over here. My portrait's kind of covering, but there's a button that says Create New. Click on that, and it brings you to essentially a library of all the creatures that exist on the D&D Beyond ecosystem. So you can punch in Aarakocra, you can punch in, type in Goblin, and there you go. Lots of different type of goblins. Goblin boss, goblin gang member, goblin counter gang member. Oh, poor guy, fell into hard times joining a gang. Don't do that. Or maybe you do, because, you know, goblin. Or click on goblin. Click on the goblin, gives you a quick little card, or you can go to the details page, and you see where we're going out with this here. You'd also set up what characters are here. Right now, Fandalin Adventures Incorporated. That's the game that Team Pi is a part of. Everyone in that campaign can be pulled up. So I could say, well, they're not fighting just some average characters, some random characters. They're fighting this party, and I can just pull them up immediately. That helps kind of balance the CR. So over here, again, my portrait's kind of covering it. It tells you what the adjusted XP, how much experience they earn. So if you're playing with experience points, you could, help balance that. It also gives you a ballpark about how difficult it might be for those players or those characters. So let's see. In this case, manage characters, and this is again my campaign. So I could go X that out and say, no, I want to pull in characters, just generic characters, or I want to pull in characters from one of my other campaigns. It's really, really nice. So we'll just say 5 level 5 characters. There. 5 level 5 characters, done. So now it's just average party level 5, number of characters 5, and then you build your encounter there. Now, we're not talking about the encounter builder per se. We want to look at the initiative tracker. So let's take one that I already had built up. Red Brand Hideout. Okay, now the one thing I wasn't using the encounter builder the way it's really supposed to be used. I was using it because when I DM, I have multiple tabs. I have a tab open at the top of the window for every creature that I'm referencing, and I'll go across all the tabs. What Encounter Builder helped me do, and spoiler alert, I'm about to open something that's going to show you all the enemies that exist inside, let's see, the Wave Echo Cave. So, if you're playing Lost Mine of Phandelver, look away. Or if you're playing it, look away, because you're about to see all the creatures in there. So here we go. These are all the creatures that you could encounter in there. And instead of having a million tabs open, what I did instead was load up all the creatures that exist in there, so that I could just pull up their tooltip here. Ah, there you go, just finished. Whew. So whenever I need to pull up the creature card, I just pull it up here. Now, when it comes to tracking hit points, when it comes to like writing down initiative or anything, I did that on a sheet of paper. But rather than having all the tabs open, I had all the creatures I needed here, so I could just pull up the information on the fly. They're fighting this creature, a bugbear. My bugbear stats, but I have all my hit points. I have like maybe 10 sets of hit points on the side, so when they attack bugbear A, well, I have that on paper. I don't have that here, I just have one bugbear. So this encounter, they're not fighting a Sturge, a Ghoul, a Grick, they're not fighting all these creatures on this list. That's a reference for me. But now with the initiative tracker, you actually have to make what they're going to fight, because that's important to the initiative tracker. And I'll show you why in a second. Because on the bottom, run encounter. That's new. That kicks off the initiative tracker. So I'm going to click run encounter. And these are all the generic players with that awesome face. Who is that guy? He has to work at DnD Beyond. That's kind of funny. Alright, so player character E, so forth and so on. You're going to punch in whatever initiative they roll. So say 8, 9. This poor sap got a 2. This poor sap got a 1. This one knocked it out of the park with a 28, we'll say. And then you have to go down the list for all the creatures. Now you could just hit auto roll, and it'll roll it for you. Or you could punch in what you physically rolled. I'm just auto roll. They're all their initiatives. So every creature's going to have their own. Mind you, if you have 10 orcs, each individual orc is going to have their own initiative number, as opposed to rolling for just all the orcs. So keep that in mind. Depending on how you want to run it, just keep in mind that's how this initiative tracker works. So, a couple of critiques here, because now, again, all the creatures are there. I'm going to hit start, and now it puts them all in order. It lets you know the turn, whose turn it is, which is really useful, and then what round it is, which is also useful. Yeah, it's not the brownie waffle stream. My daughter was all about French toast this morning. She didn't want to hear anything about waffles, so she got French toast, and now she's at grandma's. So we might try brownie waffles tonight, or maybe tomorrow morning will be a hit. It's something I want to do. I don't want to just make them and give them to her. I like to make them with her. I like her to be part of the process, so we could talk, and I could show her, how to do it. That's fun. So waffles, unfortunately, didn't happen today, but maybe she'll be in tune for it later tonight. Fingers crossed. But D&D Beyond initiative tracking and brownie waffles are kind of the same process, right? No, not really. No. So anyway, here we go. So, player character E with the whopping 28 initiative. He has his turn. Here's his action. He rolls an attack. He runs over to a creature. He makes another attack, and that's it for his turn. Great. Next, Bugbear. And you see it highlights the creature that's going next. And then you just go down the list as they all get their turn. There's a lot of enemies because, again, this is designed for... actually, let me show you a better example. I have another... What is this? Combat tracker. Manual entry. Additional entry. Silicon bands. Oh yeah, doing that with the wifey. We haven't had time to sit down and look at that together. We've looked at it kind of individually, but we want to sit down and make a decision together about it. It just schedules suck, man. But yeah, like right now she's over at her mom's with the kids, and I'm here, and I have a ton of stuff to do. My niece is a Girl Scout, and she's my only niece. Love her to death. So what do I do as a good uncle? I help her sell about 350 boxes of cookies, 130 some odd which I have sitting here in my home that I just have to sort so I can deliver tomorrow to all the people who bought them. So yeah, that's one of the things. I also have to prepare for the one-shot I'm hoping to run tonight. Hoping if we get enough players. If not, it's just going to be another hangout. And just other stuff. House things. I got to look at the furnace because it's not blowing hot air. That's not good. So I got to look at that. Stuff and things to do around the house. But I wanted to stream at least a couple hours. Maybe put a little bit of paint and, look at this new initiative tracker. Now, manual entry. Now, some of the stuff, I don't know the initiative tracker inside and out yet. So I thought I'd do it live with you guys. So what is this? Dramatic entry hero. Of course, because it's dramatic, it has to be all caps. Max hit points. We'll say he has 30 hit points. Armor class. We'll say his armor class is 18. Speed. We'll say his speed is... his speed is 30. Average. Initiative. We'll put him on initiative 20. Quantity. 2 of them. He has a twin. Add. Did that just add him in there? Is that what that did? Dramatic entry. Ah, it did. However, now here's the other thing. Manual entry. Can you remove? Okay, so here's my one thing. Well, maybe it's not that big of a deal. So last night, and I didn't, when I was doing the stream, I was doing this live. I was kind of playing with it as the game was running, and I was using it to run an encounter, which I found something is helpful. So manual entry means you could plug someone in. So as they're fighting, all of a sudden, another second wave of goblins comes in. Oh no! Or maybe some more heroes come in to help. Yes. So those moments where someone jumps into the fight, someone runs into the middle of the fight with a folding chair. You do a manual entry for that. Okay, but how about if someone leaves the fight? I don't want to all of a sudden have like 1 million people on this initiative tracker. What then? Undo? Oh, you get to undo the last thing you did. Okay. Let's undo. Turn 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way back to... Nope, you could basically rewind the clock with undo, but you can't really... Alright. So you can't take any of these creatures out. So if you have 10 bugbears down there, and 9 of them get killed, and you want to make space on this long initiative tracker, you can't really do that. Okay. Anyway, this is meant on the side here, if you're following me at home, this is meant to track their hit points. It doesn't do the math for you. I'd love to be able to just say how many, to do math, like if they take 6 damage, I guess I gotta do it all manually. Schedule the initiatives, try clicking them monster and see if you can banish them. Should be a way to set conditions on them. Yeah, conditions would be great. That's just the one thing I was going to get at next, actually. There's no way you can set conditions on these guys. When you click on them, you get their details, like you get the status right here, the stat block, short summary, edit, and then it takes you down to edit. Oh, wait a minute. When you go to edit, short summary, Oh, but do I remove them entirely? Interesting. Let's play with it. All of a sudden, there's no Sturge. Oh, but when you edit, you're literally editing the whole encounter. So when I hit save encounter, now the Sturge is gone. And then if the Sturge comes in, I have to add him. Then run encounter. See, now I just lost all my initiatives. Run encounter, and I have to start from scratch again. 1, 5, 27, 8, and let's say 11. And then auto roll initiative for the other guys, and then start. It asks me what to put conditions on there. There should be a way. Maybe I just don't see it. Let's look at this together. Click on the flame skull. Click on there. No, click on there. I see. Oh, okay, that's cool. You get to blow up the artwork. That's always nice. Click on the flame skull stat block to open and close the stat block. No strips are provided. Add one now. So that's really for okay. Now the only other thing I can manipulate on this bar is the hit points. Now the way they want you to track the hit points, your guy will say, okay, I swing at him, hit, I do 12 points of damage. Okay, 40 minus 12, and you're doing some quick math. I would love it if I could just, if there was like a little calculator here to do the math for you. That's a first world problem. I could subtract 12 from 40 easily, but it'd be nice. Also, here's the other thing. As a DM, all the creatures have a hit point range. Like this creature, the Flame Skull, is 9d4 plus 18. But the average is 40. However, 40 is not the culmination of the equation of 9d4. 9 4 times is 36, plus 18, 6, is going to be, see, I can't do math very quickly. This is why I need help, but 54. No, 52. See, I can't even do math right. No, 54. It's right. Plus 8. But I can't put 54. I can't change the maximum hit points on this thing. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Yeah. Definitely got to look into that. But, I wish there was a way to put conditions on here. So tracking the hit points is not. I mean, it works, but I'd like to set creatures with higher or even lower hit points. Maybe it's a weaker Flame Skull, or maybe it's a stronger Flame Skull. Well, the only way to do that is to literally make a custom Flame Skull, and then it becomes a creature you can add to the specific encounter. So you have to make many different iterations of the Flame Skull. That seems kind of counterintuitive, right? You already have the Flame Skull here. Why not just edit the hit points that you have on the Flame Skull? So I think they should allow you to edit the hit point maximum and minimum. Or hit point maximum, I should say. Once the creature's killed, you can put down 0, and that is it. Another thing that would be nice is, as you said, conditions. Root of all beers. Once again, you are the root of all the issues. You have your finger on the pulse of what this thing needs. It'd be nice if I could set conditions. And if they're holding concentration, I could click on that. If they have something going on, it tracks that as well. Initiative trackers, what makes initiative trackers good is not just knowing what order someone goes in, but what's going on with that individual. The information you could see at a glance there. If I see the turn and I play the Flame Skull, but I forgot he was holding a concentration spell but had an ongoing effect as well, it doesn't do me much good. Those are all the little notes I put on my paper. I want to be able to take my notes I put on paper and translate that here into a much more seamless system. And right now, I have to use my paper and this, and that's kind of counterintuitive. I would just use the encounter builder, make my list of creatures I'm going to use, and use my paper to track everything. And currently what I do for my initiative tracker literally is a sheet of paper. It's a small sheet of paper. It goes from like 35 to -3, because just in case someone has horrible initiative. And then as I go around the table and say, what's your initiative? Okay, 14, I put it in the line 14, so forth and so on. And then the monsters, I roll it and put on that sheet of paper. The numbers, everything is written in pen that I want to be permanent, but everything else I'll put in pencil. So when the combat is done, I just erase it and I reuse that same sheet of paper. Whenever they have any concentration, I put a little C. Whenever they have any kind of note for a saving throw or anything, I make that note. I have not checked out those DM tools yet. I will check them out. I try not to have too much stuff open at once. I would love it if D&D Beyond became my one-stop shop for digital tools, but I'll definitely check that out. If it has an initiative tracker there, I might check it out. But I'm so ingrained into the D&D Beyond system that if they could pull the creatures and all the custom stuff I make here into their initiative tracker, that would be helpful for me. But anyway, back to here. So, editing hit points, maximum hit points, and setting conditions on the creatures, and being able to remove the creatures or add them in. Well, you already have manual entry. Being able to remove the creatures without permanently editing the encounter list would be nice. Like I could pull them out of the fight so they're not in this list, but then I could put them back into the fight. And once I leave the fight and my encounter list, the list is still whole. So that's basically it. Clicking, go all the way to the end, and then round 2. I like that it keeps track of the rounds. Like some spells will last you maybe 10 rounds, and as that's probably sounding really annoying in the mic, clicking with the mouse right by the mic. But keeping track of the rounds is key for some of those spells, which is nice. And I usually do that on paper, but for it to do it automatically over here is convenient. Let's see. My encounters. Let's do an easier encounter. Xanthos Tower. Here we go. Xanthos Tower. This is something I just did. I put this together quickly last night. The players encountered that. Oh, and here's another thing I would love. Haha. I'm going to edit this encounter. Going to change the player. Oh no, it's already there. Fendalen, great. It's set up. Alright, so let's save that. Run the encounter. And this is everyone from all the players in my my game, in the party, in the main party. But they weren't all at the fight yesterday. So I need to be able to remove some of these players. I can't do that. I have to just ignore them. Leave their initiative at 0 and pass them up. There has to be a way, like if the party is split, I guess I could just skip over that player. But it's annoying to have to see this huge long list, especially because I'm also using that list to pull up quick information on the creature, and I'll show you what I mean by that. You're 4, you're 5, you're 6, you're 7, you're 8, you're 9, get these numbers on there, you're 10, you're 11, and you're 31, because you're fast, why not? Auto roll initiative for these guys, fun, and then start. So all the creatures at the same time have the same initiative count. No, Cultist had a 4. Really? It worked out that way? Okay. But let's say, yeah, at the fight last night, Piffer wasn't there. Horse wasn't there. Atomic Mass was not there. It would have been nice to remove them from the list, so I have less scrolling to do. Keeping this list concise would be a lot nicer. I think it's pretty user-friendly, actually. Especially when you go over... I mean, some of the... Like, they're working on it. It's in beta, so I don't expect this to be perfect yet. The encounter builder is great. It's helped me eliminate tabs. I like the library, like the sources and everything. Being able to just look at everything on the fly is nice, especially when it comes to the adventures. I love being able to click on an adventure and all the data is there, and all the hot links and all the database, the way it just pulls the information very quickly. For me, is nice. I like that. But when it comes to live tools like this, this needs to be done just so. I remember one of the things I was asking, and way back when, was that I go to my campaigns. For the campaigns, when you go into the campaign, let's view the adventures from last night. Well, this information's outdated. I got to update that. It'd be nice if I could see quick reference stuff here. If I could see what their AC is, what their current hit points are, what their passives are, just at a glance. So I see all that right here. That is one page. because the tools need to improve a bunch more. Yeah, I mean, you can always improve the tools. I'm pretty happy with where they're at right now, but can it be better? I'm sure. I can't think of a way to make it better. Well, I'm pretty sure I could if I put more thought into it. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy with it. But anyway, like right here, I would just love it if all that quick information is available. What I find myself doing a lot is clicking and viewing each individual one. Like I'll go to Atomic Mass, like, hey, what's your passive perception? And right now I have a card with all that, but let's say I didn't have a card. I could go over here, okay, your passive perception is 10, great. Oh, but now another character has, I have to look at his passive perception, so I have to go to 1, and then the next one. In general, what's good for a DM to do is have like a little cheat sheet that has all of that written, but I would love for D&D Beyond to remove that clutter from my table and I have it right there. This way I could put different stuff on my table for prep. So yeah, so there we go, look at his passive, and I could just jump from character to character, but man, would it be a lot easier to just see it all right here on the front. I could see their AC, the maximum hit points. I could see their passives right there. That'd be nice. That would be very nice. But yeah, anyway, initiative tracker, creations, my encounters, Zelthal's Tower. I'm going to give it another look. Maybe I just overlooked it. Maybe there is a condition thing in there and I'm being dumb and I can't find it. Auto roll. Start. Alright. So you're saying question mark, that's how much current hit points. So I guess I could put down their maximum hit points there, what they currently have. It'd be nice if they pulled it up automatically. That'd be nice, so I could see what their hit points are right here. But it doesn't have that. So I'd like better integration of the hit points. Definitely the conditions. Man, I can't find... See, I click on horse. Nothing is clickable here for this guy at all. So hopefully they add stuff. Yeah, because when I have players on there as well, usually what I have, honestly, I don't need to see player detail here. It'd be nice. But let's see. It'd be nice if this bar right here was essentially this right here. We'd see this right here. That'd be nice. And then this bar included passives and AC and everything you would need at a glance, and it was all right here. This would eliminate the need for me to click back and forth between the second tab, and then I could see it all in this tab. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind if this was a little wider, just so I could see the pertinent information from my player characters. Like right here, for the Cult Fanatics, you see their AC, you see their hit points, or hit point equation, you see initiative bonus, but for the players, Nils, level 13, that's it. And I mean, I DM'd them for a while, so some of the stuff I already have committed to memory, but man, it would be nice to see it. Because sometimes you don't game for weeks, and I'm old, so I forget stuff. So it'd be nice to see right there. So if anyone from D&D Beyond is watching, no, probably not, but it'd be nice for that to be the case. I'm going to submit that. But, yep. There it is. There we are. That is the new current taken alpha. Take our survey. Yep, I'm definitely going to take the survey. Make my suggestions. Oh, and this is Tabletop Audio. This is the website where I get all the music from. Love this website. Check them out. They're really great. All right. So that is that. That is it for that. That's our little D&D Beyond perusal. I'm really excited about what that initiative tracker could become. I'm happy with the encounter builder, but I don't use it the way they intended. I don't use it to make individual encounters. I use it as a catalog of all the creatures they could possibly encounter in an area, and then I have my own sheet of paper that has the encounters set up. And I use that just as a quick index to reference pertinent information. Especially useful with creatures that can cast spells, because then I could just look at the hot links for the spells or custom creatures that I create that have spells. Their spell list is right there. I don't have to write down their spells or have a different tab or anything. It's right there in one tab. So I don't use the encounter builder as intended, but it's still a really useful utility in the way I use it as an index. But if the initiative tracker could kick up a notch and have all that extra information, that'd be great. Do you buy Starbucks? Not often. I mean, there's a Starbucks everywhere in Chicago. But I don't really buy it very often. Though I don't mind coffee. I'm not a huge connoisseur of it. Alrighty. So, let's get to painting. I just realized the display for the characters are up here. Ah, well, that's fine. Yeah, it is fine. Let's get to painting. The rust monsters would be nice, but I really want to finish this mimic. No, you know what? But I'm so close to the rust monsters, I just need the base and a couple colors on the top. There'd be 3 minis done in one shot. So I'll do these 3 first, and then I'll kick off with the mimic. Is what I will do. So if you have minis, now is the time to grab them. Let's do some painting together. I have about maybe an hour of painting before I have to start adulting again. And this wet palette is amazing because oh my god, it's all still wet. It's great. Of course, wet palette, it's all still wet. Go figure. Who knew? Who knew? Alright, grab some brushes. Where are my good brushes? Alright. That should do it. I think I'll work with those brushes today. Alright. Colors. Alright. Colors we're using these guys. This is a wash. Well, earth shade actually would be good for these guys. Let's see here. And I know they have browns. Definitely want to go with browns. Maybe like a much lighter tan on the highlight. Let's do that. Bugbear brown. Okay. When I watch people paint online, because every now and again, like when I'm on the bus or a train, I will queue up goblin skin, why not? YouTube channel and try to look up ruddy skin. Actually, that work a lot better. Just to see how people paint and try to follow some of their tips when I paint, because I'm no pro painter. But I don't mind picking up some new tips. God knows I could use the help. Bone. Right there. Thick skin, no. Dwarven bronze. Some of my metallics around here. Oh my gosh, these are out of order. These are out of order big time. Someone came to do some painting. Who paints around? Alright. That's fine. Let's take a look at this stuff. Orc skin, that's not. These are all metallics. Well, let's see. Let's take a better look. What's going on here? Buy vanilla frappuccino for your reusable cup, and at the bottom of the cup, have pop rocks in it, preferably red and blue. I call it the Star Spangled. That sounds very patriotic. Let's see. Grab it all the brown paints. Apparently I don't have a lot of brown paints. Seem to remember that was kind of an issue last time. Thought I had more. Wait a minute. Cold red. That might come into play. Actually, do I want to do like a red instead of like a tan? Maybe. Oh, but wait a minute. Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. Oh, I almost forgot the theme. Windswept. Let's see. I remember I saved a photo of Yakko, Wacko, and Dot on the desktop. Pink. Alright. So Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. Yakko with the khaki pants. Wacko with the red cap and the blue shirt. And Dot with the yellow bow and the pink skirt. Alright. So I need red. I forgot about that. Well, you know what? Let me paint them how they're supposed to be, and then I'll work on. Probably make his legs, this guy's legs more khaki colored. Do that. That's gonna be an easy one. Okay, we can do that. But I want to get the scales. See what I'm looking at here. Their scales. I'm gonna pull up this thingy. So you can see, I want to get a highlight on those scales so you can see the ridge lines better and there's more separation there. So I need a lighter shade. Right now they're all just brown, like a muddy brown. Need to get a little life in there. So let's go in the water. Take my brush. Let's see, is this? It's probably too big. Let's go with. This is too much too. Use something thinner. This will do. This will do nicely. Oh, those little like baster thingies? No, I haven't ordered those yet. For now. Wow, this wet palette is awesome. All right, here we go. Actually, you know what? I guess that's the same brown that was on there. I need the lighter shade now. Okay. Oh, yeah, those food containers. Yeah. For model storage, I don't use them for model storage. If we're talking about these food containers from the farmer's fridge, I use them for my water. For my ink storage, I think you probably see it. Let's pull up the other view here. That's where all my inks are and everything. Yeah, the food containers I get from vending machines. Those are the farmer fridge. These things. It's like a It's a little plastic cylinder container. That's the only one I could think of from a vending machine. Those food containers. Um, I wasn't storing models in them. I guess I don't think how I could. Well, the smaller ones I probably could, but no, I don't use them for model storage. All right, let's get some music playing. So. A little too quiet in here. There we go. Let's see. Ready skin. Not gonna need much of this one. All right. So right now I'm just gonna add a much more dramatic highlight to red. Maybe I'll do a little blend of paint. I'm gonna do more highlight to that scale because I need it to stand out a little more. I'll mix some paints here. Actually, minutes or hide might be a good way to go. All right. That's too bright. Nope. That was a bad move. Bad call. Not the right shade. Whoops. That's right. Need to darken that up. Cobalt red. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that would be good. This way I'm not picking through my thing. I could just have them pulled aside and the paints I need and ready to go, the project I'm on. Especially because I'm not going to juggle multiple projects at the same time. I'm going to be working on one thing until it's done. So pull the paints I need, put them in that container. Good thinking. Good thinking. Alright. This is a better shade. This is going to look better. Just slightly lighter. Decently watered down. Let's do it. Okay. Putting this guy in the Citadel holder because this is getting... There we go. Much better. That's a good idea. Models in progress. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. That makes sense. Get a little paint in there. The little dude man is already looking better. I'm trying to learn more about layering your paints, especially when it comes to scaled creatures. Getting each little fold of the scale here. As it gets narrower, it's a little harder. How many webcams am I using right now? I have the one in front of me and the one overhead pointing down. I typically have another one I can kind of use. I just need a longer cable for it. I would like to get one closer to my hands, but I'd have to get another mount. I'd have to get a table mount so it goes over and looks right at my hands, so you can see what I'm actually doing a little more easily. Let's see. This is getting much narrower. This little tail. There we go. Currently my whole setup is 1, 2, 3 webcams. When I'm playing D&D with my buddies at the table, I'd love to have another webcam. I'd love to have a fourth. I'd love to have 2 cameras on them, one looking that way at the player sitting across from me and the other one looking at this line. And then we have the DM camera. And then the overhead on top of that. That's an investment I can't really afford right now. I can't drop the money for another camera, so I just kind of make do with what I got. What makes these painting projects take longer than they probably need to be, but the fact I think I'm a little OCD about it. That's okay. this little antenna. Yeah, I do. Come on, but a better layout, a better setup from what I have right now. A little antenna, get a little more of a highlight on the edge of the antenna there. Go. Now the legs is. Oh, and the mandibles too. Little highlights on his face. There we go. All right. Looking good. Oh, 4-cam bundle. Man. Oh, such a thing would be nice. I know my money has to go into some other directions at the moment. Circling the financial wagons for a medical bill I'm waiting for my kids because we had to take them for another evaluation. So I'm just waiting for that full bill to come in. I'm going to pay that off. That's going to be about $1,000. That's what I'm predicting. So I'm preparing for that first. Where's his tail? No, that'll do for that one. And right now at work, there's no overtime available. And normally I would try to do that, but that's not going to be an option this time, which is fine. I mean, I'm not in financial trouble as long as I, take it easy with some stuff. I'll make it. Adding the extra layer of color on here along the ridges of the scales is looking really nice. And if I find a nice 4-camera bundle though, I might see what I could do to make it work. That'd be nice. There's some behind the scenes stuff I really have to update though. Like the website has to get updated big time. It's a simple little website, but I need to contact my good buddy who put it together just to update some information on there. I took some more photos of the miniatures for the player characters, and I'd love to update the photos in there with the actual current characters. So it's a little out of date in terms of the streaming schedule and everything on the website. So that has to get fixed. Whoa. It's a big one. Walmart. I'm gonna check that out in just a second. I'm in the zone. Phone making noises. It's calling me. Don't they know I'm painting? Oh man. The one thing about this, one of my buddies, he has a mini that he got, but he's doesn't feel confident enough to paint it. But he has a good reason because he has really shaky hands. So some of the fine detail in the mini, he's worried about just blotching it up. So I get it. When you have a primed mini, that he got it from Hero Forge as well. So when you invest that kind of money into a mini, you want to be very careful with it. So I get that. I have kind of shaky hand. I mean, I'm definitely don't have a career in being a surgeon in my future at all. That for the tail. But I think I do, still a fair job with the miniatures. Could I remove your appendix? No. Could I add color to a rust monster scale? Yes. Take a look at that. Antenna. Oh. And I'm going to take a quick break. Quick ad break. Be right back. There we go. Audio. Thank you, Vertical Beers. So anyway, that was the phone call I was waiting for. I thought it was going to come a little later, but time for me to go do some adulting. But I know I had this small window, and I wanted to use it to paint and to talk with you all. Root of all beers, especially. All right. See if I have enough time just to get some highlights in this last mini. I'd like to have them all uniform at the very least. Yeah, this one needs it. And then I gotta run, and then we'll return later tonight. Whew. Well, a little progress. A little progress is good. Very quickly slap some paint on here. The antenna. There we go. The leg. Little spiky legs. More paint. That little leg right there. More paint on the scales. Oh man, and I have to go. The other antenna, almost done. This is truly speed painting now. Amateur speed painting. Uh-oh. So what happened then? Failed to stop the Elemental Queen from coming back. You know, maybe she's cool. Maybe she understands like what the people need, and she's fair and to a safe country. Hey, whoop! Time to pack up. That's a solution. Regroup and come back later. That works. No, I got to highlight this side. Jeez. Whew. Well, at least while I'm away, the paint could dry, and I could finish it. Heading back to the country. The way I tried to stop her was pretty creative. How'd you try to stop her? Tail. Okay, well, frost monsters are looking a little better. Just an extra layer of highlighting on those, all I had a chance to do. But every little bit helps. Every little bit is good. Oh, I'm really curious to know, how'd you try to stop her? Elemental Water Queen. An Elemental Water Queen. Arthur Anchor was a portal at the bottom of a gigantic pool. I tried to bar it with a series of bomb detonations. Oh, yeah. There you go. But the explosions didn't work. You know, when in doubt, explosions are usually a good way to go. Because you can't... A good explosion, why not? Apparently she wasn't having it. Yeah, it's okay. Alrighty. I gotta run. Root of all beards. Always appreciate you. You have no idea. Anyone else who tunes into this stream, I appreciate that as well. Not enough explosions. See, that's the only problem with explosions. If you don't have enough, it's still fun because you get to make more bigger explosions, right? Smuggler didn't have enough. Oh, I gave the old college try. Alrighty. So I gotta run. Love you guys. Appreciate you watching even just for a second. I hope we all learned a little bit about DnD Beyond's new thingamajig, if you even use it. But if not, you get a little insight of what some of the tools I like to use. Keep your painting, keep going, push forward, always forward. And yeah, I'll see you guys a little later tonight. Cheers.